Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in tonight's live stream. We're actually doing a live stream now. We're actually doing Gold Rush. And here we go. We're going to get into this right now because it'll be a laugh, won't it? So yeah, here we go. Gold Rush. Oh yeah. It's nice to be back. We haven't been here for a little while. I can't remember where I was last time. Oh my god, what was I doing? Season 1, Day 3. Season 1, Day... Ah, it's going to be this one. Oh, no, it'll be that. Oh, that one. Yes, let's load. Here we go. Oh, and yeah. Normally, let me just put up some music. Because, like, when we play Gold Rush, normally the music does drone on a considerable amount. So, let me just find a playlist. I think we'll go with this one. So I know where I've gone wrong on this, so that should be that one. That's fine. Get rid of that, that's okay. All good. There we go, a little bit of music to get us still going. Oh. Yeah, I can't remember what I was doing. Well, I've had an empty bucket and I got 300 grand. I'm going to assume I've literally just spent all this time. Cool. I gotta remember how to play this game again. This is the problem with taking like times off this game, is that I forget how to play them. I've never noticed that before. There we go. So yeah, I just had a quick drink and a quick snack. I'm back on again. We got a couple of more hours that we can just kill playing this, so it's all good. So we just did a massive clean out then. Like the last time I played this, it must have been one of those sort of. Well, give me a sec because my phone has just gone off, which means maybe the wife. Nope, nothing important. It's all good. So the only time I will break off stream is if I get a phone call from the missus. Chili Streams, what up, dude? I'm waving. So yeah, the reason why occasionally I'll come off stream and I'll be looking at my phone is just in case the wife, like if she messages me, because if she messages me, then something's different, you know, something's up, and I have to sort of like deal with it. Mainly it's because she's in hospital, so she's still up there, she's still having a few issues, so I'm still dealing with it. Apart from that, we're all good. Okay, so we've got 51% in there, that's fine. So what I must have done is I must have emptied all of this. And then I was ready, because this must have just gone like click to 51. This must have all gone like empty. Well, this was like completely full, and then we'll go from there. All right, okay, I think we're good now. Let's skedaddle. So if you're interested in the music that I'm actually listening to at the moment, it's on Spotify. This is Harris Heller's contribution to streamers. Basically, it's his entire, it's all of his music that he's bunged up there, and he's doing this for, it's all free as well, which I'm so impressed by. You do it. What is up, dude? How's things, man? And last time someone keeps screaming my name like that, you want something. What can I do for you? How is things, dude? Oh, I've forgotten which button is. It's definitely not that one. Ah, found it. There we go. Oh my god! Right, I will learn this. I will learn this confounded game again. Every time I play this, every single time, I have to relearn it. I was close, almost lost the load. Well, I got no reply. John, what do you want? What? What's up, man? Irony, right? It's all good though, you know. I mean, you can play this game. It's fine. The one downside to this game is there's no other NPCs. Not even a shopkeeper. I think like when games like this, they need like shopkeepers or something to give you a little bit of like of a kick. But I don't honestly mind playing this game on my own, but when you've got people around you who play this game as well, it's almost like LAN party. You just want to play in the same room as them and just see how everyone's doing. That's just one downside. I don't mind the fact I play on my own though. Right, so this has got to go down. Great minds think like. Oh, the reason why I'm playing it is just because I'm a game that I want to play. I can't afford until Monday. So yeah, it's stuck. I want to try the there's like police. It's almost like police simulator, not the one that I was just playing for a demo, but it's a game that came out a couple of days ago. I think it would be good for content, personally. So I want to give that a go, but I can't afford it. So I'm just waiting till Monday. Or I think it's Wednesday when my my YouTube money actually goes through. All £120 of it. Yay. I'm starting to put 20% of my money away into a savings account now. So. After, in all fairness, I sort of started to need to. So just means that I'll have actually a savings account dedicated to actually savings. Instead of going, yeah, I've got to start saving soon, and never ever saving. Click the banner to explore our huge range of products. Da 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 da. After the stream, DM me on Discord. Okay, you don't have to, man. It's all good though. I mean, in all fairness, it's just alright. It's just at the moment everything's sort of like I know I'm playing. I know I'm playing Papers, Please on my channel, and I know not a lot of people really give a damn about the game anymore. I mean, it's 7 years old, and it's just a bit, you know, no one really bothers with it much anymore. But the reason why I'm playing it is because someone bought it for me, and it's like, well, Finn bought it for me, and it was like, you don't have to, and he did. I was like, the main reason why I'm playing it is just because someone bought it for me. And I mean, it has given me something else to do, which is good, but I mean, at the same time, I could have been doing anything else. I've enjoyed my time on Papers, Please, but it's not really a pusher, is it? Not anymore. Fun though. And creating a story as well is something I was trying to do, which is why I started talking to myself and calling the other person Larry. I enjoy, you know, I mean, creating that character as well as like my sort of like frenemy. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go round again. Ah, that's cool, man. Thank you. In all fairness, I just thought it was something that, because I've seen Markiplier play it, and I enjoy Mark's content. And in order to be a little bit different, like, because everyone always says, I mean, even when I had a chat with John about like YouTube and bits and pieces, it's like you've got to think of something different, like something that other people haven't done before. So I spent a long time actually watching other people play Papers, Please. And every single one of them was exactly the same. It was the, oh, you know, Papers, Please, and then just going through people's information. I was like, okay, that's fine. But there was no, like, there was no social life. There was no, like, why is this character doing this? And that's where Larry comes to play. Sort of stole the idea from Impractical Jokers. So if Joe Gatto always, like, goes off and he's always, like, shouting for Larry, who used to work for the show, but that idea sprung to my head. It was like no one ever encounters like an extra personality on playing this sort of game, and it's sort of why I invented Larry, because it's lonely, you know. I mean, after watching, because I watched the video, like the actual film, well, like the 10-minute film they made for Papers, Please. It was fantastic, but you saw, like, the guy who was in charge of like doing everyone's papers, it almost felt like he lived a really lonely life. I mean, he has a family and everything, but whilst he's at work, there's no one around him. He's just him. And it's like, you know what? I wanted to add something else into the game. I wanted to have almost like an alter ego, but at the same time, I wanted to have something where people could relate to. It sounds really weird, but so people could actually relate to me as a character in this game. So I wasn't just a border guard. I was bringing my social life into it. I had this other person I could talk to, like my family and bits and pieces. But this person's my work colleague, who, you know, you're always going to have like fallings out with. And that was where it all came from. And it was just, when I started thinking about it, it was like, no one's done this before, and no one ever does do it. You know, no one ever sits there and talks to themselves while playing computer games and giving something else, like an inanimate object, a line, ever. So that's where I sort of came to that, and then that was where, like, it started to dawn on me, but maybe this is something I could add into various other games that I play, which is a little bit harder to do, you know. So I'm very, very tempted, like, if I come to play another game, to be that weirdo who I'm talking to no one. You know. Well, that was another reason why I bought that character to life, and it all comes from what Derelief said, and I will live with this until the day I die. When he sits there and says, "You need to make your content for humans." Yeah, right. Well, I just created an entire persona, you know, and I put it into a game that no one else has ever done before. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying. I'm just trying to be completely and utterly different from everybody else. And I know I'm not giving anybody else sort of like value for watching those things, nor does any other YouTuber. But it was the entertainment side. I enjoy Papers, Please, and I enjoy creating that character. I really do. So I'll carry on doing it until when the game finishes. Like, when the game completely finishes and I've done the ending that my character he's going to get to, it'll be something that I'd try to look into another game where I try and bring another persona into it, you know. But I'm glad it was I'm glad that other people. This is the thing. Like I live on the feedback from other people, and if I don't get like a lot of comments, I have no idea if I'm going in the right direction. I really don't, you know. So they always say your engagement with like subscribers or whoever watches the video is important, and it really is, because then you know if you're on the right track or not. But I think if you're saying that, then other people they should be saying the same thing, I think. But see how things go. But Larry was that invention. It comes more from it definitely comes from Impractical Jokers, sorry, because that's what they did. You have to think on your feet when it comes to improv. So yeah, that's what I did. Was Gold Rush updated on PC? It keeps getting little hot fixes, but this is because of like issues that they've always had. I never know, we might actually start seeing this game get updated a bit more since it's come out for console. Maybe. We shall see. I need to scrape the floor on this bit. How do I... Oh, Q. Pushed the wrong button before, haven't I? I think it was just because of... I think it's more towards like season mode again. Obviously, like the new table happened, so that'll be another reason why they updated the game. It's all good though, it's all good. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. Well, there we go, another 100%. It's all good in the hood, guys. Down we go. go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. No, it's like a nice little, like, well, it's a nice corridor we're creating now. Don't forget, I am playing this on like an hourly game, so the hour I spend in game is the hour I'm spending in real life. So if I spend 2 hours doing something, it actually is 2 hours. This is like week 1 still, you know. Cool. Turn off all the power. And that's all good. Alright, alright, alright. I did put all my grates and stuff back, didn't I? Yeah, that's alright then. I thought I hadn't. I was almost just about to have a panic attack. But we're all good. So that's fine.
You might want to pay attention to this one. That's right. We have a
So good. Anyway, so 69%. So this thing, the de-rocker that I'm actually using, this can take a hell of a lot of a pounding of dirt. So I'm waiting for this to get down to about 40%, and I'm just going to knock the rest of it into it. Because this thing doesn't ever overload. Like when you get the de-rocker, it just doesn't stop.
This is a message from the RNLI and Her Majesty's Coast Guard. Beach lifeguards can't be everywhere this summer, so please respect the water. And if you do find yourself in trouble, float to live. Lean back, extend your arms and legs, and float until you can get your breath back under control. If you see someone else in trouble, dial 999 for the Coast Guard. Get more advice at rnli.org/float2021. Thank you.
I am still surprised we have to have warnings like that on like Spotify. And there we go. And now we get the joyous job of sitting here and waiting till it empties, and then we can just carry on. It's all good in the hood. The doctor is about to operate. What do we get to goal with? 200 steps far from my goal. Bump, dump, bump, 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 bump. 55%. Should be okay. And the reason why we got more up here than we have down there is because up here this got emptied whilst that was still filling up. Ugh. It's alright, Damien. Welcome, dude. No problem, any. So that's empty. So now we just got to wait for the buckets to be empty out, and we'll be alright. Because once that's empty, everything else is good, and we just carry on. She's empty. All good. Alright, turn the power off. We're going to get some more. And this is the main downside to the game. Like, you having to do this on your own. If it was up for me, I would be in charge of like driving the dozer or the front loader or whatever, and I'd get an NPC to drive the truck, so he could just go backwards and forwards, you know. Or like I keep saying this, give us the ability to make our own wash plants, and then we can be the wash plant manager, where we have to make sure everything's working, that sort of thing. But this game needed so much when it was live, you know, back in the early days. Because like I keep saying, this is all Todd Howard. Not Todd Howard. I haven't seen Todd Howard's Bethesda. Can't remember Todd's last name. Todd Hoffman. Right, so Todd Hoffman. This is all his era. Like, there's nothing new in the game. I'd love to have like Slucifer or Big Red as my wash plant. You know, that sort of thing. You know, where you actually save up, like, I don't know, let's say, because of obviously like, the amount of money you can make in this game, save up like 10 million and get Big Red. You know, or you can apply to have like a really good like dozer operator in the form of like Rick Ness. So you get like special characters. Obviously their skills are like so much better than like a bog standard person. That would add a nice little bit of like excellence to the game. I think it would add a little more like sophistication to it as well. Something needs to be done. I mean, if not, I genuinely don't think I can play this game anymore for next year. If I was to just use this as a streaming game, I don't think I could play it anymore. I really don't. I've played this game nearly for like 2 years, on and off. It needs something else. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'd have someone else doing all the duff work. So like, I'd have someone running this thing for me, so I would run the truck. I'd be alright with that. But it definitely... I think if there is another one of these on the way, I know like Gold Hunters is coming at some point, but I mean that game's been in development for so long, I don't even know if that is going to exist anymore. I mean, that's multiplayer. That could be fun if it actually works properly and it comes out at some point. I think it could be a good game, but I'm not holding my hopes up for it because it's been in development since I got a PC and before then. And every time I ever like spoke about it with like Split, he was just like, well, you know, it's been in development for a long time. And that was a year or so ago. It's like, wow. And the toxicity in Gold Hunters crowd, like, that's the reason why I left their Discord. Was not a fan of their Discord. I think I've got a mechanic and 2 operators on the wash plant. But I mean, for me, employees come really, really slow because I'm playing this on like, as I said, like real time. So for every hour is an actual hour in the game. That's the standard I'm playing in. So it takes ages for anything to happen, like when it comes to employees and stuff. It'd be alright if I was speeding through this. If I was speeding through, it would work happily. Right, go forwards and drop. So yeah, just a general reminder, guys, if you are looking for like a new t-shirt, like I can recommend the t-shirts from the store because I bought one myself, as shown in a picture on my timeline. The hoodies, I would definitely buy one bigger than what you're looking at. So if you're looking for a large, buy XL, definitely. They see, I don't know, I'm not sure of their supplier, but they seem to be like just one size down. I think it's it's small American. So the one I bought was XL. Well, because I'm an XL anyway, but I bought a double XL. It was like, this fits, it's all good. So yeah, it definitely buy the next size up if you are looking for a hoodie. Good store though, good quality. Not gonna complain. The t-shirt's really light, really, you know, it feels nice as well. But I do buy all my own merch, so yeah. Because I feel if it's not good enough for me, then why would anyone else buy it? So if anybody else wanted one, I can actually recommend it because I own it myself. Wow, I think I've got... yeah, it seems weird. I think I've got like 3. What I'll do next time I pop up to the top, I'll show you. You didn't decline anyone, did you? And there we go. Yeah, let's go and see. Do. I did like, there was one guy who commented on, he commented on one of my older videos, and he was just like, wow, I commend you for like filling up all those buckets. It was like, wait until you see some of the later videos. See, I haven't declined anyone, so that could be the reason why I've got more people then. Because me, if I decline someone, I don't know when the next one's turning up. So I always take like the first load of employees, and then later on, if more people turn up and they're more skilled, I usually just rehire. That might be the main reason. It's all good. I don't think I ever saw Parker do that. Yeah, just back a truck up and it was like jumping off its wheels. So here you go. Okay, I've got 2.
Some people seem happy to settle for just fiber broadband.
Okay, so I've got this guy who's using, he's on one of these, and then the other guy's on the hog pan.
Our new network is growing fast across the southeast, delivering ultra-fast, ultra-reliable speeds all the way to your...
Oh, I've got this guy for waiting as well. There we go, so I've got a new person. New worker, tier 1, ST Sloot Box. Yeah, get him in.
So now's the perfect time to visit truly.com and switch to something new. Set up see website for details.
I'm gonna fire this guy
No address. No
because he was more unskilled.
No job. No job. No home.
There we go.
No home. No address. No address. No bank account.
You have to hire
No
people.
bank
You have to go
account.
into the
No
a waiting
job.
section.
No
I
job.
don't know.
No home. It's time to break the vicious circle.
There you go.
We're working with charities like Shelter to provide a bank account for people who are homeless. Search HSBC UK.
So there you go. I just hired someone better. I could probably get a few more buckets runs first. Oh. There was something in this concerned me, and I'm not sure what it was. Oh, they are all empty. It's just they all had a shadow in them. I was like, what? I was like, okay. Don't know them, dude. We'll dump all this. Oh no, it's gonna go up, and then G. It's all good in hood. All good in hood. So yeah, there's a couple of games I'm looking into picking up now from the demo fest. I'm definitely I definitely like the Animal Shelter one. I think that was class. Car Detailing Simulator. I may be playing on my other channel because that's just going to be like a channel dedicated to garage stuff. So as that is basically a garage game, it's probably going to be in there. And then the other one, Hotel Renovator, I'll probably put on tape here. Iqbal, thank you very much for kicking. Thank you very much for kicking by, man. Most appreciated. But yeah, I think out of everything I've done so far, I think those three have got potential. Obviously, like CMS 2019 when that 2021 when that comes out, we'll be on that. And we'll be alright. Oh, I think you're just about to get back. Like, just mute him off for a second. Give me a sec, I'll do it. Hold on. Oh, where's me? There it is. Too much spam, man. Too much spam. So yeah, long haul. If you want, send me a message in DM on Discord, because I guarantee I'll forget at some point. So yeah. So I know you wanted to talk, but I can't remember what about. Twin Blocker, what is up, dude? Don't say fuck or bugger. Or just don't spam. I mean, I think there's only like my one main rule in this whole thing is like, just don't spam chat. You know, it's rude. But apart from that, you know, be happy, stay cool, it's alright. Oh, so I'm getting more and more tired. Here we go. Slowly but surely we are ripping our way through this. I hate to think how many hours I put into this game. Really would. It's not as many as some, but there's still quite a few. We're at 84%. Oh no, because I think it's filling like 12% a bucket, so we're gonna have to do like 1.5, which does suck. Doing 1.5 buckets of dirt is just genuinely a little bit annoying. Means we're gonna lose some dirt. And there we go. Kian Walker, what is up, dude? Thank you very much for kicking him. You missed part 1, but this is part 2. If you want to watch part 1, it'll be on there soon. But it's literally just demos that we've played. I think the best ones I played already are the ones I've already covered. Genuinely. Well, for me at least. I mean, there's a couple of other games I'm actually interested in. They're just not out in the demo list, which does suck. But you know, so does everything over time. Shut the bucket down. Going to an Evo meet tomorrow. Fair enough, man. I will be going to a I'll be going to a sleep deprivation meeting tomorrow. It's like, just gonna sit there and talk to myself whilst my kids just run rampant around the house, and I'm slowly but surely losing the sanity to carry on. But for now, I'm doing alright. Yeah, I have these meetings with myself like once a week where I'm not sleeping properly at the moment. It's mainly just because everything at the moment is so fucking wickety for us. Like, it's been the worst part. I think it's because I haven't done this. Why did I hit Q on everything? I've turned off differential on every vehicle. I was gonna say, because normally this thing just gets to the top, it doesn't fight. I know it's fighting for it, so it's gone into the diff on. That sucks. Right, cool. So yeah, when you are playing this game, if you're new to this, or if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation, don't forget to turn the diff on. Because if you turn the diff off, you're not getting up the hills very quickly. You'll slip and you'll slide. There we go again. It's all good. Oh, the back. The back. Yes. So the other thing is, I don't mind car shows. I'm quite good with car shows. I enjoy looking around at other people's cars. But my problem with like going to a specific meet where all the people turning up are specifically for that one car, right? Is everyone drives the same thing, and then over time it's like, well, you drive an Evo, and you drive an Evo, and you drive an Evo, and you know you've got like 400 Evos up, and it's like, I'd like to see like, I don't know, something different, like a Morgan, you know, or you know, just any other car, BMW, a Rover. I don't even care if it's an Aston Martin. You know, it'd just be nice just to see something different. And that's why I like going to like multi-car meets, where you go to like an actual like car show. I like car shows, and I've never been to one. I would actually tell a lie. I've been to like a few, but they were like not very good. They're always like locals, like one or two people had some like really nice cars, and then like everyone else turned up in like a Ford Cortina. It's like, way cool, yeah, Ford Cortina. Give me a sec. Give me a sec, Keith, and I will I'll have a chat. Right, so that's that lot of dirt going in. Bring that down. Turn off the engine. X. Okay, so Keith Grimmer. Hey all, really wanted to get this game when it first came out, but when I saw it wasn't multiplayer, I lost interest because to run a setup that works, you need more people to run trucks and loaders. You can run it all on your own, it just takes a little bit of time. Like, so to put this into perspective, at the moment I'm just emptying off the trucks. I've got that down there running myself, and I've got my truck that I just fill up and then you run it back up, and then it is literally, I'm in single player. But yeah, I would agree. I mean, multiplayer would make this game a bit more manageable, but my problem is like the person who owns the game, let's say I open this up to multiplayer and like other people were able to join me, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, really cool. I just sit here, right, and I just tell people what to do. It'd be like, no, you guys just do all my work for me, and I'll sit here and reap the rewards. And then when you guys go offline, I'll spend all my money, and then you get nothing. That doesn't sound totally fair to me, so I don't think it would. In all honesty, I mean, if you want a gold sort of managing game that you're going to be playing in multiplayer, check out Hybridsteel. It goes multiplayer this summer, and more people for me equals more headaches. So, I mean, for me on my own, I know what I'm doing. It's like I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this, and it's all good. Like, you get more people in here, so that person's going to be driving around like a lunatic waiting for somebody else to turn up, and they're going to be wasting fuel. And it's like, okay. Yeah, but you wouldn't want to be the mine boss. You'd be bored shitless. Whilst everyone else is playing the game, you'll be like, hey, cool, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just going to stand here and watch it. Ah, so you're a Hybridsteel player? Yeah, Hybridsteel. Massive Hybridsteel. But I think it's, for me, it's just, I work better on my own. Like, I'm going to open it. So what I'm thinking of doing is, anybody that's a member of this channel, I'm probably going to just like ask people to add me onto Steam, because I think it's going to be using the Steam client to add people to multiplayer games. I think that's how Max and others are setting this up. So what I'll probably do is I might just open it up to like members who own Hybridsteel can actually join me in a multiplayer game. I'm thinking of adding that as a perk, you know. And then like I'll be doing a couple of videos with like subscribers, well, members. I think it has to be members. I only got it a few days ago. Well, I mean, I know this is like advertising and a shameless plug, but if you check out the rest of my channel, there's a shit ton of Hybridsteel stuff on there. Oh, you actually see how the game's evolved through my channel, because I was making content from like 1.2 onwards. 30 days review. What is up, dude? How you doing, Justin? Nice to see you here, sir. Nice to see you. Nice. But yeah, I would say I'm a big Hydroneer fan. I enjoy the game, but since it got announced that 2.0 was coming out, and 2.0 you cannot use your old saves on the actual like version of the game, it's like, okay, cool, right, so I'm done, and I'm just waiting until it comes out. When 2.0 comes out, I'll be back on the Hydroneer. Is there an update or same one as before? Console can play this game now, so all the leaderboard stuff, people who are on PlayStation and Xbox can now join the leaderboards. That's literally about it. I mean, it doesn't feel any different. I'm not sure if they've updated the graphics or anything, but 2.0 should be out. They've just basically said summer. I think they're really trying to make it work properly. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if it was late, in all honesty, because what, we're in June, coming up to the end of June now. You've got July and August. And they've still got 2 months, and then they've been working on the game for nearly a whole year now in the background. It's like, oh, the screen tearing, yeah, yeah. That's been a permanent feature in this game. It really has. It's I think this is it's the only thing about like Gold Rush I'm not a massive fan of, is that. Like this, where you can disappear the land. Nah, it's not good. I don't think they're going to make another Gold Rush game. Really don't. You know what, they up like season 12 now? If they were going to make another one, they would have done it by now. As said, my main issue with Gold Rush is that everything in the game is Todd Hoffman. So there's no updates from like the later game. There's the later crews. There's no wash plants. There's no dredges. There's no nothing. It's just like most of the kit that Todd was using. Which is why you're stuck on like the big 400. You're not. You haven't got anything like bigger than that. No, you wouldn't. You'd be using a 400 or bigger. Yeah, I made it. I binge watched like season 7, and then shit hit the fan here. I haven't watched it since. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. It's like, yeah. I think that the problem with Todd was that I think because he was seen as like the main housewife, she's still in hospital, man. We went and saw her today because the nurses said that for the better of her like mental health, it'd be good to see the kids and stuff. So yeah, she's still up there, but yeah, her surgery went well, and then obviously they took bits away for testing, and then they found that they found cancer in the lymph node as well, so she's going to have to undergo chemotherapy, potentially. We're basically prepping for that. So if they say, oh no, it should be okay with just like a couple of doses of radiotherapy, which should be okay, but yeah, chemo, they've given her a big book about what to expect if chemotherapy is like the thing that she's going to have to do, so she's not... I think she's more positive that this is probably what's going to happen, because there's a plan. and that's what she likes. She likes order, even if it's not the greatest news. She likes the fact that things are being done, you know. So surgery went well. I think it's more that she just misses being at home. It is a thing in this country, but it's not mainstream. But I think between me and her, we've got more than enough painkillers to knock each other out, so should be alright. But yeah, apart from that, it's that's the reason why I've been. It's the reason why I've been sort of a little bit quiet every now and then. Like putting out the videos and stuff is like a good distraction, but I haven't really done a lot else ever since. Like, I haven't watched a lot of telly. I've literally just been sitting here watching Netflix and just sort of keeping myself chilled. Like the videos are easy edit. They're nothing special that I've been putting out. They're just there, you know. And I know I'm not putting full whack into them, but I would say what I'm putting out at the moment, like the Papers, Please stuff, I'd say it's filler content. It's like making something out of nothing just to keep myself going, because at the moment I know I could do better, and I know I can, but I'm just chipping away. My problem is more, it's like I haven't really had a break for like since this all started. So for 12 weeks I've just had, like, it's been constant with the kids. Haven't been able to de-stress, haven't been able to do anything, and that's why I try and keep myself to myself at the moment, because if I can't, then I'll snap at someone. I know I will. And as long as the kids are fed, which they are, as long as they're bathed and all the other stuff, they're all right.
We don't do old. That's why we're putting the full into full fiber. Our new network is growing fast across,
and that's why I do what I do. I'm just doing bits and pieces to keep myself going.
So you can watch, shop, work, game, or connect from just £35 a month for our 300 megabits package. So now's the perfect time to visit truly.com and switch to something new.
But yeah, apart from that, I'm alright. I think I'm more happy knowing that she's getting seen, and she's in the best place at the moment. You know, she's not on her own. She knows somebody up there as well, because obviously she's on ward, so she knows. She's spoken to a couple of people. Do you get softball this time of year? Not so much in the UK. Like, I would prefer to go and play baseball, but I think I'm gonna have to move to another team, because the team I was playing for have just moved ground. So instead of it taking me like 20 minutes to get to the ground, it's now going to take me an hour and a half. It's like that, and they want me to do that like twice a week to go training, and then obviously like for games and stuff we go everywhere else. But I think I'm probably going to look at moving to another team, so I don't have to spend so much time on the road. That was a big thing. Like, as soon as because it's not their fault either. It's the club that I'm with. Where we were renting our ground from, the place we were doing it, they just like upped the price. No, I play baseball. Yeah, I actually do play. No, I'm not at all. I can't, because I'm the only one at home. So that's the other thing. Like, we can't afford a babysitter, and it's a lot of extra trips I'm having to do backwards and forwards to hospitals at the moment. Looking after the kids is a pain, you know, for anybody, and I can't afford to have a babysitter like 3 times a week, because we just don't have money, you know. So it's like, can't have a babysitter, can't do this, can't do that. So we rely on ourselves quite a lot. Like, if I go out and play baseball, then Kerry's usually here, like holding down the fort, but she's not here, so I don't get to go out. Everything at the moment it's more focused on making sure she's alright, you know, and being in the best sort of mindset. But yeah, there's a person on her ward that she's befriended, and they play cards in the evenings. They go out for, because she vapes and this person smokes, so they go out and have a. It's. I said you should just group, like, add her up on Facebook, so when you get out of hospital, you can still actually talk to this person, because it's good for her to have that whilst she's going through what she's going through. Because we can't be. The worst part is like not being able to go and visit all the time, because at the moment, because of the whole COVID thing. You can visit 1 hour a day. I am not driving over a water pipe. I'll be okay. You didn't see anything. But yeah, so that's the joys at the moment. It's just getting through everything. In all honesty, the win I had last month really did help. I was surprised by last month, so yeah, it helped for money for a little bit, and I managed to get some of the kids' stuff. I managed to get give some to Kerry as well, so she had bits and pieces. It made it a little bit easier. Let's put it that way. So. Yeah, and that's what I said to her. I said this person isn't just going to be someone you're going to like hang around with in hospital. This is somebody that you're going to keep as a friend because of what you're going through. Oh, occasionally I dabble in gambling. It's literally my only access to like something I don't do inside this house. So I take. Because if I talk to a lot of people around my way, because it's all council, like people get their dole money and everything else, and they go and buy scratch cards and they try and win the lottery, and it's like, okay, so I don't do that because I know the odds of winning it are freaking astronomical. You know, the odds of winning. Thank you very much, Keith, for subscribing. Fist bump, man. So I take what I would say would be the gambler's allowance. All right. And so a lot of people around here spend quite a bit on scratch cards and lottery tickets, and they never really win much, because I mean the odds of winning the lottery around here now are like 1 in 72 million chance of winning, because they upped our lottery to like 50, I think it's like 50, 58, 59 numbers now, and you've got to win that, and it's like, nah, that's alright. So it's a 1 in 59 million chance of oh no, it's not 1, yeah, it's 1 in 72 million chance of winning the national lottery. It's a 1 in 50 million chance of winning the Euros. Like winning anything on a scratch card, it's a 1 in 4.75 chance of winning like on a £5 scratch card, which means you might win £5 back. I mean, you have got a chance of winning like £1 million, but you know the odds of winning that is ridiculous. There's only like 1 or 2 cards printed with those numbers. So I was trying to find ways of like making money with better odds. So I've done the whole, like, obviously I like doing graphic design. I can do that. If people want honest work out of me, I can do that. That's cool. It doesn't pay very well, because I don't charge people what I should be worth, because I don't feel I'm worth very much when it comes to graphic design. So that was something else. And it's like, I mean, it's depending on how many numbers you are and combinations and stuff. So let's yours is the Powerball, isn't it? There you go. So give me a sec. Odds of winning the Powerball. So the odds of winning the Powerball in merry old America. Let's have a look. For example, the odds of winning the recent Powerball draw in Tennessee was 1 in 292.2 million to 1. Okay. You have a 1 in 2.3 million chance of being killed by lightning, a 1 in 3.4 million chance of dying after coming into contact with a venomous animal, and a 1 in 10 million chance of being struck by falling aeroplane parts. So the odds of winning the Powerball in Tennessee alone are 1 in 292.2 million, and that's fecking ridiculous, right? So I'm not a big fan of playing the lottery. I used to, but like after I hit like 19, I was like, it sort of loses its grip a bit, and I don't really want to do this anymore. So I stopped playing the lottery. Every now and then, I'll buy a scratch card, or I'll spend a tenner on scratch cards, but I won't ever do it because it's never going to earn me any money. So in order to like upgrade my chances, I decided to learn how to play things like blackjack. I learnt a couple of systems on roulette. I know how to play baccarat, and I was trying to play this other game that's just fucking madness. And it's called what is it? It's Indian. It's something Bahar. I think it's like Shama Bahar or something like that. And it's literally it's basically a game of chance. Straight up, it's like playing Snap. I was like, okay, so this game's a little bit crap. One of the chances of winning, you're like 1 in 292. And I was like, you could play this with your lottery money and you might win something more. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I'm on this website called BGO, which is the one that gets advertised quite a lot in the UK. That and like 32 Red. So I joined BGO ages and ages and ages ago, and I was like, you know what? There's got to be a way of like earning some money out of this. I'm on the postcode lottery as well. It's £10 a month. I've won 20 quid in 2 years. So yeah, the odds of winning is 1 in 65 million. It's probably a little bit less than that because it's the amount of, I don't know, because then each person can buy 3 tickets, so it's 1 in 99 million. Yeah, so I'm on BGO, and in the past I've won bits and pieces from it. You know, I've played on the slot machines and I've won like 100 or so, and it's added to the pocket money. It's fine. And so they've just added this new roulette game called Fireburst. And basically what it is they lowered the table odds to, like, if you do a straight payout, it's 1 to 29 instead of 1 to 35. You won £1,000 last year. A person, because you can go on their map and you can see who's won. A person round the corner from me won 35 grand. So they bought a new car. And I know this because he got a brand new car in the driveway. And so I was playing this Fireburst thing, and basically they lowered the table odds to a payout of 1 to 29. So every time you put like $1 down, you get 29 back. Okay? Or it works out like that. Yeah, so $1 you get 29 back. On a standard table it's 1 to 35, so you'll win 35 quid, so that's not too bad. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And so I started playing roulette, and I started learning like a few little strategies to make sure that I'm covering enough numbers so I'm not losing a lot of money. And literally for a whole day I sat here and I lost like 3 or 4 times, like only like 20-30 quid, but I'd won like 300-400. I was like, this is pretty cool, this is right. So I cashed out, I kept like 30 quid in, and I came back the next day. And the next day, one of my numbers came up, and it landed on one of their Fireburst numbers. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be good. And I sat here and watched it. My jaw hit the floor. And I put £1 on one of the numbers that came up. And then it times it by 632. That's like the biggest payout they've had since they started. And that one day alone, I won £1,000. I was like, way! So then I gave Kerry like a couple of hundred. I bought the kids some stuff, bought a takeaway, and yeah, and then I'm all good. So yeah, that's where that came from. And I really got into like watching other people play roulette and craps and all this other stuff. And I was like, right, okay, cool. So yeah, I've basically turned into a gamer who watches randomly everything, but I sit here and watch. I normally predominantly watch a lot of like roulette stuff nowadays, or like poker on how to play blackjack and how to win, that sort of thing. Yeah, so the postcode lottery used to be, and it still is to this day, right? It's what we use as an analogy if you're in like. If you're going to get like a vaccination or something, it's a postcode lottery to see who's going to get it first, you know, which area. And then a couple of years back, this company, who's it's a charity-based company, they said they created this thing called the postcode lottery, and every like 5 times a week, a month, sorry, a draw happens, and your postcode goes into this draw, and if you win, then you win the prize for that day. And most of the daily prizes are £1,000. Then they do like the 35,000 one at the end of the week, or they do like the $500,000 giveaway, or this, that, and the, or you can win shares in like this much, and it's like, okay, cool. But yeah, it's basically it's a national lottery, but you don't pay any extra, and at least they say it's 10% of the money goes towards charity. So 10% of your donation, because it is basically a donation, you pay £10 a month, and 10% of that goes towards a charity. So out of, or is it 30%? I can't remember now, but it's a percentage of it goes to charity. So everybody across the country who pays into the postcode is funding charities. So it keeps everybody playing, and it does good as well, which is all good. I'm quite happy to do it. You know, it's charity based, and I don't have like random people walking around or like knocking on my door saying that I have to pay this, that, and the other. So you're the only person registering in your postcode. See, for me, I think there's about 25 people in my area that plays the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it works. It really does, and I actually that's why I did it. I mean, one, it raises money for charity, and two, I'm not tempted to buy any more tickets. You can buy up to 3, so instead of paying £10, you can pay £30 a month. But and then the odds you're gonna win in, like, it's 3 in like 60 million instead. Well, depending on how many people actually play. But for a tenner a month, it's all right. It's, you know, £2.25 a week. Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's so much as a lottery. I'd say it's literally a raffle. You know, you have to buy your postcode is your raffle ticket. You know, you don't get to choose different numbers. That's your raffle ticket. So I'd say they sell it as a lottery, but I would say it's a raffle. You know, I think that's just how I see it, though. Yeah, you pay £10 a month, which is all right. So you can spend £120 a year, or you can spend £360 a year. The problem where I live is if you type in my postcode, there's like 10 other people attached to it, because we all live in a big massive block of flats. We're in a blocked area. So we're all like grouped in in my postcode. It's like, yay! Alright, so cool, that's done. So that's emptied. That's still going up. Yeah, it's not government run. So if I wanted to, the government don't run it, as charity, so you have to set it up. Just gonna dump the whole lot in here, and then it's gonna be all good. I get to do like my Parker Schnabel. Yeah, you don't pay tax. That's it. It's a charity thing, so it's not like a national lottery. You have to pay. I think you have to pay a tax on the national lottery, or there's ways around it, which means you won't get as much money. So the national lottery it's a I don't know, it's a weird system. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, it's just one of those systems. You sit there and, oh Christ, okay, right, whatever. So yeah, the national lottery is a bit funny. I think you can either have you can have the whole amount, but then you have to pay something on top of it. I can't remember what you have to pay. Or if you do it in smaller amounts, you won't have to pay so much, or something like that. But yeah, this thing, because it's charity based and it's seen as a form of gambling, then you're seen as it's seen as winnings and not earnings. Yeah, basically. It's definitely not a non-profit thing. And the reason why I can quite happily say it's non-profit is because they only give X amount to charity. You know, like I said, I think it's like 10p for every pound they give to charity, and it's like they are pocketing a decent amount of cash. That's what charities do, though. Charities over here, they knock themselves up, or charities everywhere, they knock themselves up as a no-profit organisation, but they're making profit, and then they get found out, and then they get buggered, basically. But that's the joys. So to all those people who are just watching this, thank you very much for popping in. It means a lot that you're actually still there and you're watching this stream. I understand if you don't ever want to chat, you know, because sometimes you just want to sit there and watch some weirdo with a beard play games. It's fine. And it's nice to always have an audience, even if you're not talking. The reason why is because it's always good to know that people actually still watch this game. So thank you to every single one of you. It's awesome. Smash that like button, yeah. Actually, I found that helps so much. Even if it's only just a couple, it does help. And if you're liking the music, go onto Twitter and thank Harris Heller. Okay? Alpha Gaming Harris Heller, because the dude is the reason why I listen to music in my streams now. Like before, I'd be listening to like gaming, the music in the game. I can't stand some of the game music. But Harris did this. It's fantastic. I'm never going to stop praising him for it. Ever. Until I stop streaming or YouTubing altogether. But I don't think I'm ever going to stop telling it's a really good service. I think it's an amazing service. Philip Thorpe, thank you very much, man. It means a lot. Dude, I don't do it. Like I haven't set a reminder in my videos for so long, and I think I really should, because like over the last few videos, it's like maybe I should ask people again. But my problem is I start to get annoyed with myself doing it, and it's like I'm wondering if anybody else is actually sitting there just going, "Oh, would you just shut the fuck up?" Because I gotta be honest, sometimes I do say that in to other videos when I'm watching them, and it's like, really? I mean, you're asking me again if I need to like your video, but then you see the power of it. People actually do like after they get mentioned. So I think I should start asking again, especially with what I'm doing at the moment. Like changing content is such a headache. Changing the way that I was doing stuff before is a massive headache. Oh no, yeah, soundtrack doesn't work properly. I even saw people getting a DMCA warning with the stuff that they had on soundtrack. I was like, really? I was like, yeah, it actually happened. And yeah, that was a massive wake up. So this is the reason why I use Stream Beats. So what you do is you open up Spotify. Obviously you're going to get adverts unless you're using premium. And oh, I already have one. I just don't use it. And so yeah, I use Spotify, and I use Stream Beats, which is made by Harris. And he's always said that you should definitely not ever get a warning, ever. So okay, that's fine. And then yeah, you just have the music playing, and it's all good. Never get a problem. Since I've been using it, I've never seen a copyright strike, a copyright claim up on my channel, and it just works. And there's a couple of different playlists and stuff, and there's like lots of different music on there as well. So he's got all this running, and it costs him. He said it cost him 30 grand for the initial setup. Obviously, getting the lawyers involved and how he's going to do this, that, and the other. And he makes enough money off of this now to be happy. And obviously, if you look on his channel, he's so transparent about it. It's like, I do this, and this. This is how much this makes me, and this is done. I think it makes him something stupid like 30 grand a month. I think it may even be more than that. But like he's up to like 1 million views. He was up 1 million views a month just by people listening to it on their on their streams. It's insane. There are a couple of other people doing this as well. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we could do this as well, because it is a good way of earning money. You know, a constant supply of like a looped music would just be fantastic. But he's done it so he had to go through lawyers and everything else to get things like this set up, so no one would ever have a problem. And it works, and that's why I use it. And it's good quality. Some of it's a little bit funky if you go into like the EDM versions of his music and stuff, but you know, you'll always find something you want to listen to. And coming from a metalhead, like for myself, and you know, I usually sit here and listen to lo-fi because it's just easier. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of his stream beats. Really am.
Your home may be repossessed if you do not keep up repayments on your mortgage.
But that's enough about what I do. GNR? Is that Guns N' Roses by any chance? This is full? Oh, okay, it's empty. Oh no, right. Put that down there, jump over, turn this off. Yep, digging big holes. I'm digging myself a big hole. Ah, Guns N' Roses. I've seen them live. Yes, I never saw them back in the heyday, but I have seen Guns N' Roses live. They're all right up until they got a bit stressed out that people kept having to go at them, and the guitarist jumped on his guitar and fell over. That was quite funny. That was at one of the downloads I went to. That was the year. I think that was 2005. And that was the year the riot happened, and there was gas canisters going off because of, I think it started through Guns N' Roses, and I think it just ended with explosions. It was fun. The one night you wake up and go, oh shit, where's my tent? Yeah, I never saw Guns N' Roses in the hay. I think it was just because I was too young, really, more than anything. Your mate's going to see him in the next tour. Ah, cool. That sounds like one of my kids waking up. Right. Just click up here. Back in a second, guys. And there we go. You saw UB40 live. Oh dear. No, it's up to you. I mean, at the end of the day, you watch what you like. I don't watch Guns N' Roses. I've just seen a fucking ton of Green Day. I've seen Murder Dolls. I hung out with once. Complete random time of my life that was, but it was a good day. Basically, for me, like when it came to like going to gigs and stuff, I spent, instead of, I know it just felt a little, I know it feels a little bit like more cheap, but instead of going to like 30 gigs a year, I went to one big one. I always went to a music festival, and I always went to Download Festival, because for me Download Festival was a conglomerate of everything that I was watching. Each year it was like, okay, cool, Metallica are playing, Judas Priest are playing, this band are playing, that band. It was like, okay, I'm done. Oh, I tell you what, let it through, Justin. I have no idea why number 3 turns into a cat, by the way. Yeah, let comments fly, unless they're abusive. Let them go. It's all good. But yeah, so for me, like, I always ended up going to Download Festival, and the reason why I chose going to Download Festival over like Bloodstock or anything else, and this is the big thing, because people used to go, oh, why are you going to this one? Why don't you go to this festival? It's like, because I'm one of those people, right? And it was like, oh, if you go to Bloodstock, you get to see this band. It's like, right, okay, I get to see this band, and then I get to see loads and loads of music that I've never heard of. I get it, you know. The downside to that mentality for me was the fact I wanted to see all of these bands. Yes, I have, and I get quite a lot of comments about that, and I'll get into that in a second. Yeah, unfortunately, like every swear word gets picked up in on YouTube now. So the reason why I went to Download every single year is because I could justify the cost, right? It was like, okay, I'm going to pay 200 quid and I get to see this band and this band and this band, and I'll be all right. Okay, cool, that's fine, I can do this. So that's when I went to Download Festival for near 10 years straight. From 2003 till 2011, I went to Download Festival. Or was it 2012? No, it was 2011 was my last one, because that was System of a Down, I think it was. They were playing there, and so I went to Download quite a lot. So I've seen every band I ever wanted to see, apart from like one or two. Okay, so I have seen Judas Priest and Slayer and Megadeth, Metallica and Iron Maiden. I saw Audio Slave before Chris Cornell died. I saw Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Static X, System of a Down. You name it, I've probably seen it at Download as a mainstream new metal to metal band. Slayer, I've got to say, are fucking amazing. Hatebreed, Devil Driver, Cold Chamber, that sort of thing. I've seen all of it. I've seen everything I wanted to see. And then obviously I had kids, and I haven't been to a music festival since. But that's what I used to do. I used to have to justify going each year and see how much it was going to cost me, because I wasn't prepared to go to like 35 to 40 concerts a year, because the train fares were costing much, tickets costing much. I worked a shit ton as well. I was working 56 hours a week for 4.5 years of my life. I spent a long time working, and so I didn't have that freedom. So in order to do Download Festival, it was literally take a week and a half off work. Like a week and a half was like a couple of days before Download, a couple of days after Download, and just have a rest period so I didn't go back to work aching to buggery, basically. So yeah, I spent a long time going to that. I spent a long time going to music festivals, and that one year, it was when Murder Dolls played. They got off the stage and they went out the back and they did whatever they do. And as I was getting a beer from the tent that's nearest the stage, like Kid was behind me, and he as I was getting my drink and I was about ready to pay, he goes, "Ah, no, don't worry, he's wearing a Murder Dolls t-shirt. He can get it. He can have his drink for free." And I turned around and went, "No fucking way!" And it's like I hung out with him, and then it was just one of those times where it was like it felt really surreal, because I wasn't in VIP. I was like bog standard lacking kid at the time. And so yeah, I hung around with Kid for a bit. Well, he bought me 3 or 4 beers. It was like, yeah, go on, get free beers, and that was like the highlight of my weekend. It was like amazing. And then I met David Draymond and Disturbed when I went to their signings. I got some photos of like Static X. Static X are a big band for me, by the way. They're one of my more sort of like real influencey bands. Hence the beard. You know, it doesn't get along, but this is the reason why I mainly started growing it was because of Wayne. And yeah, so that was the big thing for me. So there are certain bits and pieces of Download I really fucking enjoyed. I really enjoyed like the camaraderie. I enjoyed the people. I enjoyed just having a laugh with like my friends. Unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. And 2011 was literally the last time like 95% of us went, and then it all sort of just fizzled out for us all. And a lot of my friends still go to Bloodstock, but Bloodstock for me is like occasionally they get some bands I want to see, but a lot of it is just like things that I don't really want to go and see. Like the only festival I really would like to do, and I've never done it before, is Hellfest over in France. That thing is a beast. You know, like some of the headliners this year, like Hatebreed are headlining one stage, Metallica are headlining another stage. I think Pearl Jam are playing over there. There's like all these bands. It's like I'd go to that. I mean, I would miss half of it, so I'd probably end up having to go again the following year. But it's definitely worth my time. But I'm getting old now, you know, so it'd be like soon I'm gonna have to take my kids to these festivals. It's like. You used to work for the Nottingham Ice Cream House to see. Oh, nice! I got friends who worked as security for Bloodstock so they could get free tickets. So, yeah, there is a small little festival I do go. I went to, and we went in 2012 to 2000. I think the last time I went was 2018, maybe. And I went to this it's called Beermageddon. It's a little one just outside Stoke-on-Trent. And it's a really good little festival. Really good people. Run by a really good guy. It's for the right reasons. A lot of the bands I've never ever heard of, and I'll turn up and it'll be like it's 40 quid for a weekend ticket. Weekend starts from like Thursday because it's party day. So yeah, I'd go to that one. I used to really enjoy it, and then. Like when Kerry couldn't come along because like she'd look after like Ollie, it never felt the same. So we haven't been back since, and then like COVID come in, so we haven't been. I won't. This will be the second year for Beermageddon that I'll miss, and it's just one of those things. It's like, oh man. Anyway, Nikki, have a good one. Enjoy yourself, and I'll guarantee I'll speak to you another time. But yeah, so a lot of my life, I just remember going to Download Festival. And a lot of it is just randomly weird stories.
Renting was so expensive, so buying was the dream. With the stamp duty discount, I'm turning it into reality.
You've never been to a concert? No, I won't disown you, dude. But if you've go and experience it at least once.
I'll complete in 2 weeks.
I think it has to be done. You have to experience concerts and bits and pieces at least once. Go and find something you're passionate about, and then go and do it. And I do mean this because it's like the atmosphere at a gig is second to none. Like if you're a music fan and you want to get like the best possible way of like really seeing it, yeah, get to one, at least one. I'll never disown anybody for their views and stuff. I'll always disown them if I just don't like them. But the reason why I did it is because that was my holiday as well. Like I'd spend, for me, my times like when I was getting time off from work and stuff, was I'd spend a week and a half away from my job, and I'd go to Download Festival. If I wanted to spend more time, which I did do occasionally, I would basically go. I'd take 2 weeks off and I'd go and see my mum because they live in Wales. All I had to do was bypass. So I just used to come home a different way. So I would drive from Download, and I'd cut across the country and go and see my mum for a couple of days, and then I'd go home. And then if I didn't really want the time off, I would always book 2 weeks off for Christmas because one job was literally we shut down for 2 weeks. And then my other job, I had to barter for every single year. I had to pull the same agreement with my manager, and it was literally, I need Christmas off because I'm going to see my parents because they live in Wales, And is it possible I can take that time off? I'll book it off as my holiday, and I promise you my time at New Year's. So you guys get me on New Year's, and I'm here for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So you're guaranteed a member of staff. And I always did it. I never went to work with a hangover, ever, because I'd do it the following weekend. Like after New Year's Eve, I'd get completely fucking wrecked because everyone else was wrecked on New Year's. Yeah. See, Sabaton are a good damn band. Go and watch them. Like, I've got a friend who's a massive Sabaton fan, so yeah, go. It's just a shame that their guitarist got done for being a paedophile. He was found with I think he was found with a 14-year-old girl. A lot of that shit happens. It's just a bit of a shame when it does. I'm sure it was Sabaton. How you doing, Wolf? Nice to see you, dude. Yeah, when I saw your name pop up on Niminati, I was like, I know you! Because obviously, like, everyone, unless you actually know someone's name, you're an alias on YouTube, you know. And when I saw that you posted up a Wolf Shadow 24 picture, I was like, oh, I know who you are. It's like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was the guy that replied to you and went, oh, you're Wolf Shadow. But yeah, I think over my time of like going to festival, I've seen a good like 30 to 40 years worth of like the music that I wanted. Not so much, man. I'll, if you ever want to like reveal yourself, then that's up to you. But I saw it, I was just like, that name sounds familiar. Yeah. I think that's the problem with being in a Facebook group and you have to use your real name. Because, you know, over time people will just know who you are. I mean, that was part of my problem anyway. It's like, I'm in the Nimming group and I try to keep myself anonymous, like only being known as Hybridsteel or Hybrid. And then you're posting in like the Nimming group or any other like YouTube group and it's like, hey, now everyone knows my name. Yay. You try and keep yourself anonymous, and it's impossible with Facebook, unless you created a new Facebook page and called it like Wolf Shadow, and then you go from there. But that's a lot of effort. I think it is something that none of us really think about, though. You know, if you're an alias and you never really want someone to know your name, you have to go through that extra effort to call yourself your profile on everything you do. Because if not, and you want to try and keep like, you know, so no one knows you, and you post it out on Facebook, it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe I've got to rethink my strategy for staying anonymous. Honestly, like, a lot of people on YouTube aren't gonna come and find me though. No, you have to start as a brand new profile. Like instead of having a page, you have to have a Facebook account dedicated to you, and then you log in as the other person, and so you have like 2 logins for Facebook. That's how I did it once, but it was just like, I can't be bothered with this. And this is why I think out of all the people that I speak to on YouTube, I think there is only about 20 people who know my real name. I know like 30 Days is one of them, because I'm his friend on Facebook. I know Paul Peck, and I know Urban Explorer, RPM Nexus, Midnight Madness. Who else do I know? Christina Smallhorn, but that is her real name. I can't remember. Ratty Star. I know him. I can't remember his new channel, but I know Ratty. And now I know Wolf Shadow, but I can't. In all honesty, dude, I don't know you. I can't remember your name. It was one of those moments you just sat there and just went, "Yeah, it's all good." Yeah, it's alright. That's all good. I mean, you just do what you like. But I wouldn't. I think when it comes to Facebook, I wouldn't be that hard to find as a real person, because there's not many people that look like me. I mean, you could quite happily reverse engineer it onto like Facebook and actually find out who I am. It wouldn't be difficult. You just do one of those like reverse image things and find it on Google. Guarantee I'd pop up on there like a million times. Like, yay, someone's found me. And I'm sort of expect. That's why. And this is what I did. I actually if you look on my forbidden words on this stream, or actually on my channel, the forbidden words are literally my name, my address, my phone number, because if anybody ever does find out, I don't want them to post it publicly, so no one else will be able to see it. So I made sure that was something I covered like really early on. I can't remember who. It was either Nick or Dee that was talking about this once, and they were just like, "Yeah, you should put all this into like forbidden words." It's like, good idea. So I put all my personal information into forbidden words, so no one can type my real name or type my address or phone number. My email address is the one I use on here anyway for business, so it doesn't matter. And that's not my real. But the email address that's attached to this account is an email address I made for this account. My real email address isn't on YouTube. Still get a lot of shit. I still get a lot of shoddy junk though. Hi, would you like to grow your penis? Nah, that's alright. I heard you're feeling like. No, I'm not really feeling this. Hey, Mr. Hybrid, sir. I saw your profile. No, you didn't. You're a spam bot. The only thing about your email that's real is the photos that comes from somebody else. Yeah. Drop the bucket. It's just a little bit dark in this game now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people live that close to me. I live 20 miles away. Yeah, you probably do, actually. Yeah, I think that's my problem around here as well. The funniest thing is I'm one of the admins for like my local community group, which are like people who live in the same town as me.
Some people seem happy to
I got thrown into it and it's like, yeah, cool, it's right. So I know most of the people in the village without them really knowing me, because no one really gives a damn about it. I'm just the weirdo with the beard.
Network is growing fast across the southeast, delivering ultra fast, ultra reliable speeds all the way to your door, so you can watch, shop, work, game, or connect from just £35 a month for our 300 megabits package. So now's the perfect time to visit truly.com and switch to something new.
I get a lot of like spammy calls as well, so I enjoy those, and that's a hobby for me.
No home.
So one of my weird hobbies is like talking to like cold callers.
Bank account, no job.
I know not a lot of people enjoy doing it. I do because I enjoy fucking with them.
No address.
So a lot of them are.
No job.
Hi, have you had an accident in the last 5 years? Yeah, I have.
It's time to break the vicious circle. We're working with charities like
So I get a lot of those sorts of calls. The best ones I get are from like Amazon or Windows, basically Microsoft. And so I like talking to them and I like wasting their time. I'm not very good at like keeping them going though. You know, like if you watch, there's a YouTuber called Kit Borger or Kit Bora. I can't remember his full name now. But he keeps cold callers going for like hours and hours and hours. It's like, Jesus Christ. So he phones them all back and he's wasting their money basically. But I can't do that, but I just enjoy messing with them. So yeah, that's a really sad hobby of mine. And being with the weirdo with the beard. Yeah, there's not many other people with a beard like mine in my small village, so I'm alright. I don't mind it though so much though. I have got to have a trim though. I'll do that. I'll do that next week. So I cut my own beard. I do all my own stuff. I'm all good. I should get an award, but I just don't. Apparently we're still going in. It's all good. Right. Oh, I love security for Microsoft. And Apple's is a good one as well. So the last one I had chat to me about my computer. This person didn't get irony at all. Right. So she was sitting there asking about my question, like, you know, how's my computer and this and the other. I said, well, it's turned off at the moment. And she said, okay, so we found that your computer's got a virus on it. I was like, really? And like, okay, cool. So do you know where I would have got this virus from? It's like, oh, you've been looking at dodgy websites. So I was like, well, the only dodgy website I've been looking at is like Amazon. And I don't know if that's dodgy or, you know. I basically just claimed negligence for a little bit. And then it got worse for her. And she said, oh, can you turn your computer on? I was like, well, no, I can't yet because I'm currently driving. Have you ever thought about getting a jogger for editing? A what? What's a jogger? You're going to have to explain what a jogger is. I have no idea what you're talking about. So there you go. That almost goes like very close to what I said to this person. I said that I lived in a caravan. I'm not able to stop yet, so I can't power up my computer because the generator's not on. And she just didn't get it. She was just like, well, have you tried turning it on? It's like, how am I supposed to turn it on? Jogger is like a wheel thing for going back and forth on timeline. Oh, no, I don't do that. So what I do, and alright, so how I do my editing, because I've got two monitors, so I use one monitor for playing games on, the other monitor's on chat. So I've got this up, and what I do is I extend the screen over two screens, so I can see my whole timeline in one screen. I don't need to track backwards and forwards. I just click. So much easier. Diggy hole. Minor Illusion. I love that name. That's awesome. Especially if you're saying diggy hole. Alright. So he's a mining illusion. Yes. Like it. Classic. Did I just put a handbrake on? No. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Welcome to the live stream, matey. Thank you very much for kicking by. Oh, it's getting tired now. So those emoticons should be coming up on the stream, but they're not. Interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. So yeah, it's yeah. So how I do my editing is I put my timeline of my video over the course of two screens, so I can see everything. So And then what I tend to do is when I'm editing, I split my video. If it's like a 10-minute video, I'll split into 4 sections, and it'll be like 2.5 minutes per section. So I split it 4 times, and then I shuffle like 3 sections of that video over to one side, and I'll work on one little bit, and I'll work on 2.5 minutes of my video per time. Not so much as lots of updates, but I mean, because it's gone console now, they did an update to basically bring everything into line. It doesn't look nothing's majorly different though. It's the same game as it was 8 months ago, in all fairness. But that's not too bad. If you like Gold Rush, you like Gold Rush. But I think I know what you mean by a jogger. I can't remember its real name. Oh god. Yep, tired. It's getting worse. What are we up to? 10 o'clock, man. So we've done 1 hour and 50 on this. We did our other stream. We've done nearly 4 hours today. Pulling the numbers. Give me a sec. The Contour Shuffle Express input device off Amazon. It's got select buttons. Oh, okay. So the one that I was like, is it called a shuttle? Okay. So is it like the mixing desk where you get like a little box and you get like a little turntable and you can flick forward and push a button, that's delete, and then you push it again? Because if so, I have looked into it, I just haven't ever got one. I'd like to get one, but it's too much. And we've been through this before. Like, money for me is pathetic. I ain't got none. I would like to get things like that later on. I think eventually, like later on in life, when if I ever get a house, right, I want to set up a nice studio place. I want to basically be comfortable and be like, yep, that's good, and I'm sorted. That's what I would like, but it's going to take some time. Since I don't got... Yeah, that's fair, man. I agree. So this is why occasionally when people say, when they say to me, it's, oh, you've got kids, it's like, yeah, I've got kids. What's it like? Do you enjoy having money? Oh yeah, but, alright, so don't have kids then. Alright. And I try and be as honest as possible with people, because like I don't think having kids is a decision that should be done quite lightly. And genuinely, it's one of those things. You should really consider it first. And this is why I waited until I was 30 before it was like, we have children. You know, I'm 38 now. Well, I'm 38 this year. So, you know, Logan's 5 next week. It's his birthday on the 24th, and that's all good. And then Ollie's birthday's in November, so he'll be 3. But if I'd have started like having kids at the same time as some of my friends, and they were having their kids at like 17, 18, it was like, I mean, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy, because I wanted to live that part of my life, you know. So I do get friends that, oh, you know, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. It's like, but that, unfortunately, that was your choice. And for me, it was like, I think it was, I couldn't do it earlier because I wanted to have fun. You know, so the whole selfish thing was just like, I'm done. That was what I wanted to do. And I think that's the whole thing. I mean, as I said, having them is, I think it is a massive choice. You had your last at 40. Yeah, so I mean, we've had ours. We're not having any more. I mean, it caused the wife too much. Like, because she went through like the whole hip problems with like carrying a child, and like Ollie was Ollie was a big baby, and so was Logan. So I felt sorry for her a lot. So we made that decision that we're not having any more. I don't really want. I've got to be honest. I mean, if I had more now, by the time I get to 20, I'd be nearly 60 years old. It's like, nah, that's right. How old was I when I got married? I've been married 10 years now. Is it 10 years? No, I've been with Kerry for 10. We got married in 2012. So, yeah, 9 years. No, we didn't. Hold on. No, we got married in 2013. Because in 2012, we spoke to the organiser of Beermageddon about marrying us. So in 2013, we got married officially. And that, you know, we had a close family only because we couldn't afford anything else. So I got married in 2013. We had the family for that one, and then a week later we went to Beermageddon, and the bloke who runs the festival, I waited. So the bloke who ran the festival is an ordained minister. So he does like pagan hand fasting, and that's what Kerry is sort of how Kerry wanted to be married anyway. But we did it officially, and then we did this. So we had a hand fasting at the music festival we would go to. So we're one of the very few couples that have been married at the festival as well. So we got married twice in a week and a half, which is all right. It was good. Yeah. So I waited a long time, and the reason why is because when I was going through, actually, you know what? Because I think I'm just winding this down now, aren't we? So let me just pop up here. So I would say that for me, I wanted to live, you know, without anything like depending on me for a while, and that was part of the reason why I didn't have kids really early as well. Was number one, I enjoyed going out. So going, like, when I was 18, it was like I'm good and I'm all right, and I'm, you know, I can do this and I can go off and I can have my life, and I'm good. And then when it went to like my 20s, I'd moved to Wales because my parents were like, "Hey, we're gonna move up here. We're gonna start doing a business. Gonna start doing this." Okay, that's fine. All right, so I moved up with them. I was unemployed for a bit, not for a massive amount of time, but I was unemployed. And then I was back to a full-time job, and I was like, okay, so I'm in a full-time job, right? I don't really know anybody in the area. I don't really want to stay in here, and I want to go back home. I want to go back to Kent. That's where my life was. And I was like, I'm done. So what I did is I saved up for a bit, got myself into a bit of debt as well, for like I had like debt with a car and everything else, and I moved back to Kent, which is where I am now. I'm in the southeast, and I've been here ever since. So in 2004, I moved back here. I slept on my nan's floor for about 5 months, and I was like, okay, if I need to. Basically, I was, as soon as I got down here, I was in a job, but it was only a part-time job. So I was in a part-time job, and it was getting too crowded. It was getting uncomfortable with my uncle as well. I was like, okay, so I need to find my own place. So I basically got a full-time job and a part-time job, and I was doing 56 hours a week. And I was like, okay, I've got enough money now. I can get my own place. I can move out. I can stop this being awkward. So that's what I did. So I moved out, got my own place, and then I went back to Wales, picked up all my stuff, came back to Kent, put it all in my flat, and I had my flat, and it was good. I was like, yes, independence achieved. And so I went off, and I got my Xbox 360 and my TV and my PC. I had all this stuff, and it was like, now I've got nothing. I can't enjoy this. So the reason why I couldn't enjoy it is because I was working so much. I was coming home, going back to work, and then coming home, eating something, and going to bed. And I was doing that 5 days a week. And then the only times I could really stop was the weekend. I was like, okay, so this is my weekend. I'm done. You know, weekend, go out, have fun, enjoy yourself, get drunk, hangover. Right, that's part of life. So because I was doing so much, I couldn't settle down. And I was like, okay, no, when I've sorted out all my debts and my problems and bits and pieces, that's when I'm going to settle down. So 10 years of my life I spent getting drunk, going out, having a laugh, just having fun. Because of what I was doing and how I had to work, there was no point in a relationship much. So for those sort of like 10 years, there were girlfriends, but it was nothing that I knew that was going to be serious. So I didn't bother. And so I had this sort of like weird layout of my life. This is how it was going to happen. So when I got to 28, I was like, okay, so now I should really start looking to settle down. I should start just chilling out a bit more and, living life. And I went through a little bit of a depressive phase with an ex-girlfriend. I was like, okay, I was pissed off with life. And I had one online profile. And I put it on this website and I was like, done. And I went on holiday for 2 weeks. I couldn't be fucking asked. I went to my parents' house. I got away from Kent. I got away from everything. Got out of this engagement. I was fucked. Bollocks to it. I'm gone. So I went off and I had to spend 2 weeks just getting my head straight. Came back and there was a message waiting for me. I was like, all right. This was before I had a proper smartphone and actually connected to the internet. All right. So this message was sitting there waiting for me. It was flashing away. And I read through it and it was from this girl called Kerry. I was like, hey, cool. So I met up with her like a week later and been with her ever since. So online profile, online dating works, And that was just how it all happened. And then from there, that's when we sat there and just said, if anything happens, do you want kids? Do you want this? And we sort of planned out the rest of our life, basically, from that point. And it works because we both wanted the same thing. We were both getting to that point in our lives. It was like, we've done all the shit. We've done all the crap. We've done all this stuff. And we're all done. So it's all good. What up, Neil? How's things, man? Boom. Fist bump. But yeah, it's just winding down. I've done 4 hours of live streaming. I am tired. But I'm good, man. But yeah, that's just how it all is. Like that was the whole kid thing. It was like, if I did this in a part of my later life, like where I am now, I can deal with this. But there was no way I couldn't be. I mean, I'm a dad now, but there was no way that I'd be a good dad in my early 20s. I was a wreck. There was no point of becoming a dad at that age because I just wouldn't have been able to do it. Like my mentality back then was crap. And it was one of those times where I just wanted to enjoy myself and just be me instead of being told what to do or where to go. I wanted to have my time. And between that time, I was working so much, but I was a DJ. I was a DJ. I went to music festivals. I've had time and it was good to have, basically. How do sausages? I've seen you go. All good, man. All good. You're still a wreck. I think it gets better. It gets easier with time to be a wreck. But I think, there was no way in my 20s I'd have been a good dad, and I didn't want to be that failure. I mean, I see myself as a bit of a failure now, but I don't see myself as a massive failure that I was back then. Basically, I mean, it was harder back then because it was more of a reckless time in my life. So me being a dad back then, that would have been a bad idea. And that's why I didn't have kids or anything back then. And everyone knew it. If I was going out with somebody in my 20s, that would have just been, there was no. How's Kerry? She's still in hospital, dude. She's been up there again since. She's been up there for a week now. Basically, she's probably going to have to go undergo chemo because they found cells in her lymph node when it was removed after her operation. So she may have to go through chemo. She got given the book to go through, which was on her. You must have seen it on her Facebook if you looked at it. But yeah, it's one of those things. It just happens, and she's in the best place at the moment. She had to have a few scans over the last few days. I think she's got 1 or 2 more to go. But I think we're both crossing our fingers that she gets out by Thursday because it's Logan's birthday. And it's like, I know it sounds like selfish, but I'd rather have her here for his birthday. And that's if everything goes well. If not, then I'm taking him up there and she'll at least get to see him on his birthday. But it came at a really shitty time, really has. So hopefully she'll come back. She'll be back on that day, but we're not sure yet. So yeah, I think she's got she's got like one more test or one more scan to have, and then she'll be able to come home then, basically. In fairness, my mum dealt with it so well when she went through chemo as well. So, I mean, she's now paying for it because obviously, like, chemo speeds up like the life. So my mum's got like problems with her knees now, but that just comes from like the degrading white blood cells from the chemo. Don't think the big C ever. It does. No, the worst. I think the odds of chemo, like cancer, are fucked up as well. When on all the adverts, you say they say it's a one in two people you know in your lifetime will get cancer. It's like, well, I know like 10. So I don't believe the odds anymore. I think it's now just it'll happen, and if it happens to you in an early life, you got a better chance of survival, that sort of thing. I think it just comes down to humans now. You know, I don't think it's a 1 in 2 chance. I think it's like a proper, wake up and you never know what's going to happen. Your body could reject something and cause it. So you never know anymore. I mean, it used to be like 1 in 4, but then there's more people on the planet, so it's now 1 in 2. Bullshit. I think it's like you just never know. There's no way they can predict the odds, because I know so many people who have had cancer and have got cancer, and it's like, yeah, I don't think it's right. So yeah, we're just waiting for her to like get to some sort of normality to come back out, and then obviously we know that like some sort of treatment plan will be put in place. And I mean, the doctor that diagnosed her straight away, like the first time, was the doctor that said, "Look, we found this, and this. This is what we've got to do." No, I think it just happens now. I don't think there's a way you can put a number on it, because it's happened to too many people I know. So yeah, I think it's just one of those things. But 'tis the joy. It's the joys of life. And the worst part is now, and thinking about how everything's going. I had to have the chat with my mum the other day. I said, if something happens to me whilst this is all happening with Kerry, let's say that Kerry's in hospital still, and I fall and break my leg, right? Because I've got no one here. I've got no one else here to look after the kids. I don't want to keep banging it onto the neighbour to make sure that she can help, and so on and so forth. And I said to my mum, I said, I'm giving you a phone. If anything like that happens, I'm giving you a ring. She went, why? I said, because I don't trust Kerry's mum. Because Kerry's mum's like 10 years older than my mum, so she's now pensioner time. But it's yeah, I think my mum could do. I think my mum could get down here quicker than Kerry's mum could get up here. But it just comes down to a preference. I think my mum would just be like faster to respond. So yeah, I've had that chat with her already. It's like I'm not looking into getting a will or anything, but what if like I was to injure myself, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's just another thing I've had to consider. That's another thing I've spoken to my mum about, because I'd need the help. If I broke my leg, and I live in a flat, so I've got to get up and down the stairs with 2 kids. That ain't going to happen too quickly. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Downside, we don't live on the ground floor, I've tried to move out of here twice. And the council's just like, no, you can't move out. You're in your allocated space. Oh yeah, cheers, man. Most appreciated, I've got 2 young kids, and if anything happens to me, I'm boned. I've got to crawl upstairs. But yeah, so I think that comes down to everything that I would have spoken about, anything about kids and stuff. If you guys want to know anything, let me, chuck it in the comments. I'm more than happy to sit here and talk to you. Just don't break. Those stairs are fucking steep, right? I tripped. I almost fell down them once, and that's because there was a leaf on one of the steps, and I just slid and I almost went off it. It is flat though. It's on a flat surface. It's a flat. That's why they're called flats. And an apartment is the American saying. We were here first, right? But it's because they are flat. So they're flat, and then there's another one on top which is a flat, and then another one on top which is flat. It's not a house, it's a flat. Oh, dude, no. I'll if you want to know, I can talk to you. I can talk your head off about that when later if you want. Yeah, they go up. That's why it's called a block of flats. Yeah, that's the. There you go. In the UK, your apartment blocks are called blocks of flats in the UK. So it's a flat, a flat, a flat, a flat, a block of flats. Like yours is an apartment block. Ours is a block of flats. So what do you call a one-story house? A house, a bungalow. Yeah, a bungalow is a one-floored house. Oh, you gotta love it, haven't you? Like, terminology from the UK to America is fantastic. It really is. An apartment is a posh flat with a balcony. It really is. Or the penthouse apartment, yes, with the balcony overlooking the sea and overlooking a very nice view of the bay as you watch the peasants go by in their crap cars whilst you drive your Aston Martins and sip Sean Perignon. Yes. Yeah, it's a bungalow. I'm not actually sure. I don't know why it's called a bungalow. It's just that's what it's called. I mean, it's low to the ground. But yeah, shed. Yep. It was good. But then you've got like... So is the entire building of flats called a block of flats? Yeah. So if you've got like... So I live in what's known as a maisonette block. So there's 4 flats in this building. 2 on the ground floor and then 2 on the next floor up. And then that's it. I'm top floor and then we've got someone below us. But if you've got like more, then that's a block of flats. So, yeah. I don't know, the guy around the back of me has got his bike in. He's got his motorbike in a shed. The worst part is that I got broken into and had all my stuff nicked, and then 2 gardens away there's a Harley Davidson. It's like, man. There's also any car. Yeah. I drive a shed. Do you drive a shed? Yes. Yeah, I'm on the first floor. So you got ground floor, first floor. But I mean the stairs, like the hallway to go up the stairs is like it's about that sort of wide. So it's about 4 foot wide. So it just feels like a rabbit hole going up. Your English is odd. Nah, it's just that you're America. Your entire language was bastardized. Ours has been bastardized over hundreds of thousands of years. Yours has just been bastardized. You haven't had enough time to evolve it yet. So your storage is on the bottom floor. Yeah. So literally, I mean, my shed is downstairs in the garden. So in order to get to a garden from me, I have to go out the front door, which is the front door. Then I have to go down the stairs and go out another door and go round the whole block just to get to my garden, which is where my shed is. Yeah. We do. I mean, the English accent, you know, the thing is it continues to be bad. It really does. Our language is constantly... I love dialects as well, but yeah, ours is just crap. Ours is evolved into 5 languages. American, North, South, East and West American, and Central American. So your rusted car is in the garden. I don't have a rusted car. I actually have a shed. It's a brick building because it's council. So the council basically, when this block was built, the council build like standard housing. It's just like, here's your walls, here's your building, done, and it's up to you to do everything else. So everyone around here, because I think these were built in the 50s, maybe 60s. We've all got bricked sheds with tin roofing. That's our entire. But the guy who lives next door to me bought a brand new shed. He bought a nice wooden shed for like a couple of £100, and then puts like a 15 grand motorbike in it. No, we don't. Like, I mean, a lot of the time that me and Neil talk is fine, but when he starts talking slang and I when I start talking slang, he probably doesn't understand a word I'm rabbiting on about. And there's only, 300 miles-ish between me and Neil? Skill, what's up, dude? See, there's only like 300, maybe 400 miles between me and Neil, but our dialects and our like use of different words is different. And we can have a conversation, but when it comes into like words that he would use to describe certain things, they mean nothing to me, you know? No. That's what I like about the UK, and I know it's a very piss poor reason for liking it, but I love the fact that you could, within 1,000 miles, where basically everybody on this continent, right, from where I live all the way to like Scotland, the dialect changes so different, and the slang gets different, and all the words are completely different. You know, you can have conversations with people, but as soon as you start using like a more sort of like county dialect, you lose a lot of conversation. Your whole country is as wide as my state. As wide. From where I live on like one coast, so I live over this side. My parents live over here, and I would say that that's like the furthest point. As far as I'm as far away from my parents on that scale as I can, and that's only like 345 miles. Not even that. That's as wide as. So our country is 340. Let's say it's 400 miles wide, from let's say Norfolk to the coast of Wales. So it's about 400 miles wide, and it's only about 1,100 miles long. From like I would say from Land's End to John O'Groats, it's about 1,000 miles, isn't it? It's more than 1,000. It's about 1,100. So our entire island is tiny, but it's ridiculous the amount of like languages and like dialects there are. Well, I mean, Ireland is 2 counties. So you got Northern Ireland and Ireland. When I visited Scotland and Ireland, I had so much. Oh, dude, yeah. All right, so yeah, Scottish people are quite hard to understand. I have Scottish friends. I have to try and pay attention to them. I have to try not to be drunk around them, which is quite difficult when they're drunk. Irish people, I can understand a bit more, but yeah, they've got a lot of like. I would say it's a lot more like slurry slang, because they all talk their dialect, so their words flow into each other a lot more. If that makes sense. There you go. This is educating people about England. Haha. Didn't think I'd be doing this on a Saturday night, in all fairness. But yeah, Scotland's quite hard to understand. The more sort of rural you get, the harder it gets to understand them. It's like talking to somebody from the West Country. Like the more into the country you go, to the more rural, tiny communities, it's harder to understand. Yeah, so 340 miles, that's as wide as this country. I'd say we're about 400 miles wide by 1,100 up. Irish is. If you... So when talking to an Irish person, it's usually okay, but if you talk to a traveller Irish, that's really fast. Like, it's mumbly. The only way that I can describe that is if you ever watch Snatch. So if you ever watch Snatch, Brad Pitt does a bloody good job of being an Irish pikey. If you watch that, you'll understand how you can't understand them. Basically, I know that's almost like a weird way of like saying word, but it's the way he actually did it. He nailed the character that well that it's quite hard to understand. Some of the old time laws in this country are fucked up. Yes. But that's like in certain parts of America, some of the rules there are just whack jobbed as well. Like I can't remember which state it was, but it was like on this specific day you're not allowed to walk down the street without a top on because it could be distracting to a certain solar. But it's like what? Let me see if I can actually find. I mean, Snatch is everywhere, but I mean, let's. So in all honesty, I will be cutting this stream out anyway. Let me just pull up my intermission stream. And then we will whack that one down. Okie dokie. And we'll turn it on. There we go. So if you ever watch this film, yeah, this.
Streamloots allows any streamer looking to grow their audience and create incredible
So
interactions with
this
their
is
audience
like,
and to make some good revenue from it.
this
Register now
guys,
and change
this
your
is
streaming
Traveller
life
Irish.
today.
Dear what's about how you say? Hey, look. I helped as much as I'm gonna help. You still got a car. Suggest you use it for you're not welcome anymore. I think you should fuck off now, but you still got the legs to carry you. Nobody brings a fella the size of you unless they're trying to say something they're talking, right, bye?
Sorry, Mickey. Just give us our money back and you can keep your caravan.
Why the fuck do I want a caravan? It's got no fucking wheels.
So like, when I go to like what we call boot fairs, which is what you call like a thrift sale, there's lots of people selling shit out the back of their car, and you can hear these people walk around, and you're like, what the hell are these going through? And it's like, you try and follow their conversation, it's really difficult. But there's a reason why it's difficult, is so you can't understand it. You know, they can, you can't. And yeah, that's what they call the sort of like the Traveller Irish. It's really hard to understand. But there you go. 'Tis the joys. Snatch is awesome. I still haven't got it on YouTube because I was going to buy it on YouTube, so I never have to watch it on like Netflix. But yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, the thing is, it's done so well on purpose that's how they grew up. It's not Gypsy English because it's not English. It's Irish. So there are two types of travellers in this country. You've got the Irish traveller, and then you've got the Romany traveller. And the Romany travellers are obviously, they're from Romania. So you can't understand them a lot of the time anyway. But there's a lot of it's a lot of hard ways of actually learning how to speak it. Yeah, it probably is. It came from, where did I get it from? I got all my stream stuff now. I got from Nerd or Die. I just haven't done the volume stuff. Yeah, I've got to change it up. I don't know if there's no way I can change the volume. Or is there? Give me a sec. Properties. Yeah, you can't actually check. You can't turn it down on OBS, which is very obscure. Genuinely, I cannot turn that down. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I bought it because I could afford it at one point, but I can't. I can't do it all the time. I like them. I mean, in fairness, like owned. I know I didn't get it from. I got it from owned. That's why it was so expensive. Because Nerd or Die is like, pay the X amount, you'll be right. Go for owned. It's like, it's good quality, but it's really expensive. Thankfully, I got it on one of those like 50% summer sales, so I paid like 28 quid for all my streaming stuff. You can go into the transition setting. Really? Okay, so in my properties. There you go. Okay, so we're going to do technical support right now. So cover your ears a second. let me just mute down the desktop and we'll do this. So I'll go into and then we'll do this live because I'm stuck. Alright, so this is my custom scene and this is the properties. So this is what I see. Where is the setting for this goddamn thing then? Finn Dominator, what's up, dude? Yeah, I had to turn that down manually. That's desktop audio. So this is the transition thing for my my thingy, my stinger. So I don't and that came onto here, so I don't understand like this bit here, basically. Or if you go into your settings, I mean, it doesn't come up in audio because that's the meters, advanced, and then hotkeys. And then even in my stream delay, automatic reconnect, network, general video recording. So I've got, yeah, I can't find it myself. I know I'm a dullard, but it's really hard. Studio mode, multi-view. Unless you know where it is now. What I'll have to do is I'll have to take my transition and then I'll have to yeah, I'll have to faff around with it. I'll have to import it into Vegas and I'll turn the volume down myself. Because I can't do it from here unless you know how to do it. Because I don't know. Cover your ears. I know that one. But yeah, the Stinger's audio doesn't change. I can't change it. Yeah, well, I don't use DaVinci. I bought in fairness, I bought Vegas. I think it was Vegas 16. I bought the whole lot off a Humble Bundle for like 20 quid. So it was on there. It was like, yeah, get 400 quid's worth of software for 20. Yeah, right, cool. Did I say fap it? No, edit. Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably end up doing it tonight, unless Neil has found that property. There's got to be a way. No sound source. It's just weird that is the only thing that I bought from them it has such a problem with audio. It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, so I'm gonna head off, guys. I want to say thank you, for just having a chat. It's been quite nice. Played a bit of Gold Rush, did a few bits and pieces. You guys are stuck around, and it's awesome to have you here. So I want to say thank you very much for kicking by. Thank you very much for everything you do. There will be videos coming out next week. I'll see what I can do with everything else I do. So thank you very much for kicking by. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video or live stream, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button for other updates. I'll be back here with a brand new video, live stream, or whatever else I do over here. Until then, guys, peace out. Have fun. Enjoy everything you guys do. Boom. Fist bump.